Let's go. All right. So this is the long-awaited Maverick podcast.
You should
I
see
am
me
your
smiling.
host, Eliakim Atahire. I just thought we could do a test run today.
Yeah.
There's nothing like before we get into all the fancy shit, like the nitty-gritty of what we want to talk about as Maverick. But
Yeah.
we just want to keep it light today, just to
So that you guys can give us
Yeah.
the opinions and
Yeah.
feedback so that we can see where to correct
Yeah, definitely.
and make some changes
Definitely.
for your satisfaction.
Yeah, definitely. I just think it's been a long time coming on my side. Like it's something I just thought I needed to do and get out there.
Yeah.
And I'm always just trying to bring some value back into the trade,
Yeah.
back into the market. But for now, let's just dive into it, man. You're having a crazy busy week.
Benjamin Barasha, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Mr. Barasha on Twitter and all my social platforms.
Yeah. It's good to have you here, man.
Thank you
Like
for
I really
having me.
appreciate like the time, like you helping me out to just find what works, find a space, and especially like to just help me kickstart this thing. For some reason, you have been quite proactive, compared to like I've reached out to a number of people, but you've helped me a lot. I just got to give a shout out to Simon Kisule of Rosa Negra. Rosa Negra is opposite Serena Chigo. Like he really gave me a very comfortable home. I hope we can check it out sometime.
Yeah,
I think it would
definitely.
be,
Shout out to Oliwa
yeah,
that
definitely
are our
Oliver.
sponsors for the day.
Trust, man. I appreciate them for giving us this wonderful space. So, man, let's just get into it. I just wanted to have a quick marketing hack session with Mr. B. I don't know, I like calling you Mr. B, but for me it catches on. But
Yeah,
when you're having a pretty crazy week,
Yeah, man. I had a very long weekend already, and we're diving yet into another weekend that for me starts as soon as now because I'm already in preparations of whatever I'm supposed to do for the weekend. Tomorrow I have Elevator Friday at Kenji's.
as usual.
Definitely. That's my home for Friday. We'll be having the likes of DJ Boogie, DJ Kuzi, and a lot of other people that you people will be seeing on the posters moving around. Saturday we have Bachiga Nation that will be happening at the former Zoe grounds right opposite
gonna be big.
Phil Pomondi
That
Stadium.
will be a big one.
Yeah, that's going to be big, Bachiga Nation. So you guys really have to check in. It's going to be fun. On that same day, we have Matters Day for the rest of the people that will be going for Matters Day in Namugongo. And right after that, we shall go to Rugby Chill for the end of season Nile party.
That sounds dope. Sadly for me, man, I have to, my employer is very
I understand.
meticulous. So I have a Tascalite amplified at Silverback Lounge. They're celebrating their 1 year anniversary. Very humble account there on Salama Road.
Yeah,
it's a Tascalite
I think DJ
brand house.
Boogie and Kuzi
DJ
will be
Boogie
there
is
as well.
They're also going to play there as well. So
Winnie Nwagi.
Winnie Nwagi.
Winnie Nwagi also has quite some events this weekend. She'll be at Bachiga Nation as well. Then I think she'll probably
She also
go.
come that side.
Yeah.
So I don't know where she'll start from first.
Then Sunday we have Source of the Nile party that I'll also be taking part of as a host for the after party at Babon.
Yeah.
So you guys who like
gonna
to
be
party in Babon or in Ginger as a whole, please, we'll be waiting for you guys.
So tell me, man, just quickly, like, how do you keep up with all this? Like, it must be hectic.
It definitely is
'Cause-
hectic. I cannot lie about that. There is little rest for a lot of people. Phone me and say, Barasha, you didn't rest. Barasha, you look hungover. Barasha, you look high. And I usually like to laugh it off. Probably not the reason I'm always in sheds, but the sheds actually help a lot. I have to stay up quite much and make sure things are running well.
Yeah.
I have to stay on top of my game
That's
to
true.
make sure things happen, and it doesn't come out of nothing. It has to come with sacrifice of sleep, sacrifice of time with your loved ones. You're away quite a lot. For example, this weekend, it's going to be a heavy one. I'll have to say a little goodbyes to my people before I can take 3 days away, then come back to them. It's very challenging. It's very challenging, I would say, but I mean, you win some, you lose some.
I like to think, like people like always mistake or misconceptualize like that kind of marketing you do, especially for outlets and outlet owners.
Yes, please.
I always meet a number of guys and they're like, man, who's the best marketing guy that we can talk to? Which guy is going to bring a lot of people here? But I think at the end of the day, like, I think different places just misconceptualize the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like personally, just take me through the kind of value that you bring to wherever you go to.
Now, for me as a host, I would say it's literally what I would say as a host. You literally for the bars,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
as a host, you literally own the bar that night. Like it's your bar. You have to make sure the waitresses are in check. You have to make sure the influencers did their part. The camera guy is around. Whoever reserved the table has to then take up their table if someone else has taken it up. Well, it's a lot of. I like to tell people that I like to ask people to imagine what their father does as a host. I mean, when you have visitors at home,
yeah.
then your father is going to make sure all of you have eaten, is going to make sure the guests know where to park, where the washrooms are, and keep checking. Oh, do you have a drink? Oh, they like to call me Benja. Like, tell Benja to bring you a soda. Tell Benja to bring you a Bell Lager. Why not? So, it comes down to owning the event and not looking at yourself as simply a marketeer or an influencer. You really have to take charge and say, okay, the bar is here. Is the service free flowing? Is the shisha guy coming through? So you really have to take charge and own the event. I don't know in what perspective you asked the question, but as a host, then you're going to have to get your hands dirty too. And a lot of people, I think, the word you used,
Misconceptualize
that one.
that one. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, so
Sorry,
a lot of people
down
mistake
on the
it.
English,
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of people mistake it for, as a host, just come, pop big bottles, chill with your friends, take snaps. And I don't think the bar is making a lot of money from you simply taking
That's
snaps.
what I'm looking for. Like I'm looking for that aspect. What kind of value are you bringing back to
Now, for me,
the outlets that hire you? Because
for me,
that's what I'm looking at.
I like to get my hands dirty. I don't want to sit there. For me, for example, if Kim, you came into my setup and I knew Danny was sitting right there, I wouldn't let you sit there because I'm not going to get to make money as a bar or as Elevator Friday if you're there seated by yourself drinking one Tusker Light. You understand? It would make more sense for me if, as a host, I said, you know what, Kim, I know where you guys are seated. They're seated right there. That means 3 people are going to buy a tequila rather than six bottles of Tusker Light or Bell Lager. So
I hear that.
you have to get your hands dirty. You have to be all in. I think maybe it also comes down to people's marketing techniques, and that is mine. Me, I'll literally run the business. I'll make sure the waitresses are coming in. I'll move around and ask people, "Are you having a good time? If not, what's the problem?" Ask people for feedback. Maybe the day after, I'll be like, "Oh, how was last night? What is like? Oh, the DJ disturbed us somewhere here." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So when you go back to the drawing board, be like, "Okay, the DJ came in maybe a bit late, or we should have this type of transition when we're leaving one DJ to another." So you really have to troubleshoot and see where the problem is coming in from, then address it. Because even for our friends, you get tired coming to rather you get tired of coming to my spot every other Friday. So for the other people that are not my friends, how am I making it better for them? Because a lot of people will come because it's Barasha, but the people that come not because of Barasha, are they having a good time? Are they getting back from what would I say? Are they feeling the worth of their spendability?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I going back to that, like we had a conversation earlier this year. Like I never knew who you are, like to be honest. I never knew who you are. We've never crossed paths at any one point in time, but I felt like I needed to reach out to you. And I personally, I went out of my way and shared with you a free strategy plan for how you are going to take your brand to the next level. What level of awareness has that brought to you?
To add on to what you've said, or to answer your question, I would say how it has helped me is a lot of us in this industry, the showbiz or entertainment industry, do not know what's next for us or what are we actually looking for in the first place. A lot of people are just here, good vibes. You get one gig this weekend and the other and the other. But then you're supposed to treat it like a business. Same way you go into a workspace and they'll give you a probation of 6 months before you can fully be part of them. I think that's the same thing that it helped me with. The structuring helped me with, you have to get here, then after a certain while you're going to hit this mark. Then you have to add on and say, okay, I've done this, been there, done that, I've hit this goal. Where do we go next? So you actually really helped. I'm very grateful, and
Yeah, yeah,
you keep telling me, you know what, thank you for coming through, and I'm also saying thank you for being there for me,
yeah.
because like you said, it's teamwork, and for me it has helped me in having what are those things called, SDGs,
Hmm.
sustainable development growth,
Sustainable development goals.
yeah, goals rather, yeah.
I'd say that.
So
Yeah.
so I know that in maybe 2 months I need to be able to host it another event other than Elevator Friday.
Yeah.
I know that maybe after another 2 months,
Yeah.
then I have to move out of bus space and host an event that is even bigger. So I have goals.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, I have
Yeah.
goals, and
That's
like a
true.
tracker of
Yeah.
what I should do, where I should be by a certain time, and it has helped me keep on my toes. For the people that ask why I'm always up and not resting, it's because of this gentleman here. He doesn't want me
Yeah.
resting,
It's
and I
just
think it's paying off. He
yeah.
keeps shouting out and saying, "Oh, Barasha is taking this hosting
Yeah.
thing up to another level," and it's because of him.
Yeah. I just pretty much just help create that awareness
Yeah, yeah.
about what you can do and what your potential is.
Wow.
Personally, that's what I'm trying to bring through to the industry. And if outlets are able to understand like their full potential, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
man, you're going to talk to whoever you talk to.
Because
in
there's
terms
a lot of
partnership,
people
but
out here, just like
yeah,
myself a couple of months ago, or maybe even last year, if I'm not wrong. Uh, a lot of us there do not know to what potential we can grow to,
yeah,
our
that's true.
abilities, if we are well packaged, the lengths we might reach because of the so-called hosting that seems so little. A lot of people think we're out here simply having fun. For me, I think I quit my office job
Yeah,
to
told me
settle
about that.
on
Yeah.
hosting, and for a couple of months there, it was a very big struggle. But moving on, it has really paid off. I mean, got to work with Belaga as their brand
Yeah,
influencer.
that was dope. Yeah.
I got to work with a lot of more other places. I'm on teams with people that I never thought I would rub shoulders with.
Yeah.
And that came with knowing, you know what, you have to stop treating this like the side hustle and give it the
And give it the
time it,
attention it
yes,
needs, the
give it the
attention it
time it
requires.
needs, yeah,
Yeah.
give it the time it needs. And it has paid off. All again, thanks to this gentleman, because before that, it was really fun. You just come out, make quite some money off this and the
One or
other.
two gigs,
Yeah.
here and there. I think also like understanding the business of things is kind of quite what was lacking. But I think at the end
Yeah.
of the day, like with all the gigs you're getting, it definitely brings quite a bit of value. Um, yo, hit me. What are the challenges like? Like what hassles do you go through? Like
Well, the
what?
challenges are real. The
Yeah,
challenges are real, and
yeah,
you only find out by finding out. Like you have to go through it to know it, and obviously there's a lot of places that the most common is there's a lot of places that are not going to pay you.
yeah.
They're
Okay,
not going to pay you
okay,
because most of the people do not get under contract and simply
okay,
work on vibes, probably because they still treat it like a side hustle. But
okay.
I've met a lot of people over the time, yourself inclusive, that have told me, you know what, you need to get serious with this. You need to make it professional,
Yeah,
and a lot of people are not doing it on a professional level. I wouldn't say, I would say semi-pro at least now,
yeah.
and
Sure.
it's a journey that I'm working on. But apart from that, is obviously long nights, like I said, little rest,
Yeah,
having to sacrifice a lot of time.
yeah,
Sometimes you're sick, but then again, it's a job. It's a
yeah,
job. If you decide to treat it as one, then it's a job. You
yeah,
have to show up and show out. And inviting people to these gigs is not easy, or these events. A lot of people feel like you're milking them, like Barasha always calls us and what.
yeah,
Like we actually, me, I am grateful for the people that do as much as retreat,
yeah.
show up and take a beer and go and tell me, you know what, I just come to see
Bless.
you,
Yeah,
and
this was
yeah.
dope.
So I can. There's no limit to the challenges you face, and they come different for all of us. Yours could be one thing, mine could be the other. And for me,
Yeah,
my biggest problem
yeah,
has been, uh, I got into quite a scandal last month.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Talk about
I
that,
think
man.
2 months ago,
Yeah,
and it was very challenging. I went back into public space, and I had social anxiety.
yeah.
Like I would be there, and I feel like this building is going to eat me
Someone
up.
might come after you or some shit. I saw your Twitter. You got the blue check.
Yeah, I had
just to
to.
verify
I
your
had to
profile and keep
because
your profile,
exactly,
you know,
it
like
has helped me
straight.
with other things.
Yeah,
Like with getting people to work with. Okay, this guy is legit. People know him for who
yeah,
he is. I
yeah,
mean, because you see now you have to pay for that check, but even then, Twitter takes a while verifying you. Like it
yeah, yeah,
literally verifies you
yeah,
to know that okay, this is actually Barasha. And in my own situation, I
yeah.
did it because after I went through what I went through, people started creating parody accounts and
Okay.
identifying as myself,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it brought me a lot of controversy. Even with the people I worked with, kept saying, "But you're fueling the whole thing
Because
yourself." And I said, "No, I'm actually not active. I went out for about a month or more, and I was not tweeting, not doing anything, and I mean that's one of the social media things that I had to go through, or challenges, trolls,
yeah,
and
man,
obviously
that was rough.
a
That was
a
very
bit
rough.
of competition comes in, and people are like, no, drop him from the other gig, drop him from the other,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
and
I saw some properties like literally running out the window, and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
jeez,
there are a lot
what's
of
going on with this
things.
dude,
But
man?
then
And
I think
it took,
sometimes you have to hit rock bottom.
yeah,
Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom because ever since I joined the industry, nothing of the sort had happened to me.
yeah,
It was really sailing smooth until actually my manager, my manager told me, you know what, it's
yeah. You
very
have a
soon.
manager.
Yeah,
What?
I had to, and he told
You
me
have a manager,
I have a manager.
so we can't reach you directly.
You can't reach me directly. You have to call my guy. You have to call my guy and find out if I'm available. But anyway, he told me it's
All right.
like, but you've been doing quite well, and no one came to to disturb you. And he comes to me and he says, you know what? He was actually laughing at me. He laughed and he's like, Barasha, Barasha. It's like, it's unfortunate that you had to go through this and you
Yeah,
probably didn't prepare yourself for it.
yeah,
However, it was necessary. Now you've seen to be careful with a lot of things, this, the other. Then, man, I cannot explain the things that happen. Then I mean, then there's always friends that come through,
yeah,
or
yeah,
strangers even
yeah.
that oh, you're the host. Why don't you buy me a beer? Why don't? And I
No,
mean,
say it goes both ways, man. You know, like the kind of job I do, like people are
mm,
always going to tell me, man, hey, manager Keith, man,
mm,
you need to come through, man.
mm,
Just buy me a bottle, buy me this. And like ever since I started working in Kampala,
yeah,
man, the Kampala scene is quite crazy, man.
it's
You know,
crazy.
everybody will think that once you host a Johnny Walker promo, everyone is gonna be like, that's the guy with the
That's the
drinks.
guy with the
Of
drinks.
course, you'll be able to negotiate here and there with your outlet. You know, you have a bottle for the table because it's what you're pushing.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, man is not built like that.
Man is not built like
Everybody
that.
thinks that
You're very
because you're going
accountable
to
at the
have,
end
yeah,
of the night,
that's
and
true.
I mean, you're getting paid. So
Yeah,
me buying maybe 50 people drinks
yeah, that makes sense.
that makes sense for me. That's
That's true.
about 300K
That's true.
gone. Just so not that we always try to sustain our friends and have them comfortable, because I
Yeah,
mean I've called you, but it only comes when I'm able to do it. It's
yeah,
not mandatory for me to buy you a drink or the other, because
yeah, yeah.
and we've lost a lot of friends because of that. Sorry to say, but a lot of people come through and like, that guy, he calls you to his events, he can't even buy you a beer. Like, man, I invited you to come. And another problem is when you invite people, they forget that this is also work for you. So when
Yeah,
they come, they
definitely,
definitely want you to sit there with them,
definitely.
have fun. But then for me, my style of hosting is not going to let me sit down. I have to make sure everything is in check. And I like to say what's up to almost everyone. When I see my friends check in or someone I know, like, oh, hi, how are you? I'm the host. Do you have where to sit?
De-
And it disturbs a lot of people because, I mean, you called me here and you're walking around. You don't even have time for me. And I think me who has invited you and you who has come, we both know that this is workspace for me. I want you to be here, but also I'm going to get busy from time to time.
Yeah,
So I cannot, I cannot say everything that happens or that hinders whatever we do, but there's quite a lot. I think it's always a new experience. Every night you go out, you learn something new. So some you choose to forget, some you
yeah,
choose to forget. So there's obviously high people that are trying to drag you into
yeah,
doing whatever they're
yeah,
doing. Then obviously for security purposes as well, you have to be careful where you place your drink, where you place what you eat, how you leave the venue after when you're going home, because a lot of people think we walk away with big chunks of money.
yeah.
So anything can happen. So It's really challenging. It's really challenging. That's what I can say. But I mean, it's like being a soldier that's at the forefront of the war. You
Well,
have
yeah,
to keep on your toes and make sure things happen even when they don't seem to be going very right.
that's definitely true, man.
Yeah.
I think this is a great first
And
conversation.
also, another thing I forgot
It's
to
going
say
well.
in line with what he does for
Yeah,
me is a lot of people do not know what they want as a host or as a DJ or as an entertainer. A lot of people have not are not in touch with who they want to be after that set or
yeah,
after that night
yeah,
out hosting. Like, what next for you? For me, I think I've taken it up by the horns, and people will quite see me tired every now and then. But I actually sleep. I sleep on Mondays.
yeah.
I sleep on
It's like your
Mondays all
rest day,
through like
your
to
power down day.
Wednesday. But Monday is the day where you're most probably not going to get me unless otherwise. So also, you guys need to reach out for people like Eliakim, because you need to know your purpose. You need to know what happens after 3 months of hosting, after 2 years of DJing, because you could probably DJ all night, all day, and I mean,
There's just no end
you're
game.
going at avam
There's no end
DJing,
game
eh, you're
to
going
what
at
you're doing.
avam hosting,
Yeah,
which is why people will keep saying, "Ah, Barasha, man, you've really looked for money in Kampala." And it's because I'm a very enterprising young man.
yeah,
I
that's
have
true.
to always, go
That's
out and look for
definitely true.
things, and things come and go. I mean, tomorrow we could be in lockdown and there is
Yeah.
no more hosting. And what do I do
Where do we
next?
go?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I have to keep on my toes, which I think everyone in the industry should do. Look beyond what they see.
yeah,
Yeah, there is a full bar here and it looks like you've made it, and tomorrow there's no one coming through just because of one small allegation like this.
yeah.
So, yeah,
I get you. That was a bit of a tough situation for you to go through.
yeah, it
I
was
think I
tough,
think
but
it
then
built you at the end of the day, man.
it helped
Because
me.
end
It
of the
helped
day,
me.
if you're able to build yourself,
Trust
you
me,
know,
I think the first time I stepped out after the incident was blankets.
yeah,
And I remember putting on sheds, looking for a hat, looking for a mask. I didn't know myself anymore. I was
it's like you're
scared.
those celebrities that
Ooh.
are just
My friend kept
running away from
telling
the
me,
paparazzi.
but I actually had so much
Yeah,
social anxiety. I
yeah,
remember being in spaces and everyone was telling me, "Are you okay? Is everything
yeah,
okay?" And it was hard to deal with, but there was no way around it. I had to go through it. It was very challenging for me, my friends, my family, the people that I work with. It was very challenging, but we thank God. We thank God that we managed to come out of it alive, most
yeah,
importantly, alive. And things are getting better over time. I think we can see the changes, getting back into my working ways. And yeah, I think it only gets better from here. It only gets better.
yeah.
You learn. What's the saying? Once bitten, twice shy. Twice bitten, once shy. I don't know the
Something like
format,
that.
but something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So
Something
I'm
like
more aware of the people I deal with, uh, who I work with, who I let out, um, who I let my info
that. Yeah,
to.
yeah,
It's something I think I had to go through for a person that came straight out of the workspace, the
yeah.
office job, and jumped right into hosting. I think a lot of people were asking themselves, "But who is this Barasha boy? Where did he come from?" And it was so. This is me.
Yeah,
This
man.
is me.
I like the way you structure all your properties, like, and the properties you take on. I think you're gonna give the industry a run for its money.
As
I really
I
do. Like
remember
organic. Yeah, organically.
when I tried to step out of the whole thing, when
Yeah.
whatever was happening, a friend of mine told me, "You're joking." Told me, with where you've reached, you can't step out of this industry. I literally wanted to go back to Kabale and start digging, like I wanted to be
You're
away.
kidding me, right?
Trust me, it was
I
that
didn't know
bad.
this part.
Oh,
I didn't know this part. And it's
trust me, I
and
almost went
it's
back to
really
the
it's really
village.
amazing that I'm having this on camera for the first time in a while.
Yeah,
Like,
someone would
we're
probably
setting
think
the,
we've had this conversation before.
exactly,
This
but
is
we're just
raw.
this is raw. Like we're
This
just
is
setting the
raw.
record straight here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it was very challenging, I would say. I thought of taking up higher education somewhere, go study maybe out
yeah.
of the country,
Was it scholarship you
or
were
yeah, there's
you were
that
considering?
scholarship I got
Yeah,
from UNICAF. And I considered it quite a lot. I was very happy. I remember tweeting about it and saying, thank God. And I was really ready to go. But when I looked back, I remember that I was doing something that not only was paying me, but it was something I loved. I like to be with people. I like to be around and smile and have and be the reason people are having a good time. It makes me happy to have people tell me the next day, oh, elevator was lit, and now Kings Park is going to be lit as well. Tomorrow, where are we going? I literally have people that call me on days that I do not host. I'm like, Barasha, where do you think I can go and have a good time in Kampala on such a day? And I'll tell them, straight up, go here or go there. And yeah, and also we have a lot of people that have a problem with sharing these gigs. Me, honestly, what is yours, and what is not is not. So when people ask me, maybe if it's a Wednesday and someone tells me, oh, we wanted to go to Wicked, I tell them, oh, well, Wicked is like this. Maybe if you went there first and came here, it would make more sense. Or you come here, then go there. So yeah, it's really fun. I can't lie to you guys. It's extremely lovable. You'll do things and be happy that it's you that's doing them.
Yeah, man. Before I let you go, man, I just want you to give me your top 4 marketing hacks that you're really using to like get this thing cracked open. I'm learning from you. You learn from me.
Yeah.
Might as
Top
well learn
4
from each other.
marketing hacks I would say is be your true self. Be your true self, because then if you're not your true self, then you're selling a lie.
Yeah.
And when you sell a lie, then you can't keep up with it. You can't keep. Me personally, I do not know how to lie. So when I lie once, twice, I'm going to probably
like,
fumble the story, and then I'll be like, you know what? I lied to you the other time, but the truth is this. So I always try to be very truthful. And marketing hacks, and you see, the people that come to these events first are your friends. It starts with Danny coming for my event. Then he says, oh, this is my friend. It's called Eliakim. He actually does brand strategy. Then you make another friend, then another, then another. And now we're here because of Eliakim. Someone I met at Meet Guy.
Yeah, sure.
Meet Guy, yeah.
I think it was Meet Guy.
Yeah, I think it was Meet Guy. So also, I think I'm a very friendly person. I don't know. Maybe you'll tell me. A lot, like I said, I think it goes back to what I said. A lot of people are my clients, but first they're my friends. Then also, social media is a good thing if used right.
If you use it the right way.
Yeah, if you use it right, and I always replicate my information on all my pages. I will go from Twitter, go to Snapchat, go to WhatsApp Business, go to WhatsApp, then go to Instagram. I even use my LinkedIn to market my events.
That's true.
For the people that have not seen,
a few of those.
You will definitely be sure to see my events Elevator Friday on LinkedIn. It sounds funny, but I mean, you people be in office and get tired from the LinkedIn, and you're just scrolling, and you're like, okay, there's something happening. And that is also another thing. What I would say is that the different audiences for all these platforms. So Twitter has its own people, Instagram. I mean, we could be mutual users here and there.
Definitely.
But they're all different markets that we can always tap into rather.
Yeah.
And also, one of the other marketing techniques I use is that I'm a very hard worker. Maybe it's not exactly a marketing technique, but I mean, everyone wants to come to a place where the people are really interested in what they're doing. And as a waiter, I'm going to do my job because that's my job. As a manager, I'm not sure I do this because so I work hard in where I'm supposed to work hard. And I mean, I've done my part. I've tweeted, I've looked for the good DJ, I've thought of a concept that could fit the place. And those are one of my very many marketing strategies. So many others I could possibly. But I think it comes back to being friends. Knowing people on a personal level means a lot.
Yeah.
Because then also affordability is a marketing strategy. I'm not a very wealthy person. I'm wealthy, but not very wealthy. So I like to tell the places where I work, I tell them, what if we took this a bit lower for these guys? I think it would be more affordable for them.
Driving more higher,
yes,
faster rate of
exactly.
sale.
Yeah, so affordability is a marketing strategy. For a lot of people that I've worked with, I think I've asked you to change prices here and there, and it has worked for I mean, everyone, if not most of them. So
Let's get out of this serious stuff, man. It seems like we don't want to bore everybody. We're really too serious with what we're talking about today. Like, so just tell me more. How's family, man? How's everybody doing at home?
When
like,
everyone is all right.
Everyone
is all right. It was a tough time for all of us. I'm the last born in my family. So when that happened, it was Benja is going through this. So other than that, family is doing well.
Yeah.
I think we'll all be at Bachiga Nation.
Stop.
We'll all be at Bachiga
I
Nation.
still do need to
Barasha's
meet your
kitchen
brother.
is
Your brother was starting something really cool, and
yeah,
I still think I
Barasha's
need to, yeah,
kitchen.
Barasha's kitchen.
Yeah,
It was
it's
something
still
coming up in there, and
yeah.
he sort of went quiet. Then I don't know.
He's still
What was
running a
going on with
ghost
that?
kitchen
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
We intended on opening up a physical location, but that has been a bit hard because now I was helping with a lot, and now I'm also
Your hands are tied.
my hands are tied
Pretty much,
because
that's what
I
it is.
missed quite some time while I was away, and now I have to do a lot of catching up, which
sir.
hasn't been very easy. So, and he's also doing quite some higher education to better his skills, and he has been busy as well. So, for the people that have been waiting for Barasha's kitchen, it's going to come eventually. Not now, but yeah, Eliakim will make
You
sure
gotta
it
pay me
comes
for
to
some.
life.
You gotta pay me some money.
Definitely,
I do have a
definitely.
lot I can do for you, but
Yeah.
you gotta pay me some
You
money.
guys, but it's
You need
not
to pay
for
me
free. It's not for free. When you guys go and work and make your DJ money, you DJ Kuzi, I'm talking to you. You come to a man like Eliakim and he will help you brand and come out as
The way you
man
need to come out.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I believe like all people in this industry just have a unique selling proposition that they can put out there. I just feel like it just doesn't come out right for certain groups of people. I've had a number of strategy meetings with a number of people in this industry, but I will definitely host them, and they will have their own turn to just take us through their journey, and show love to
Definitely.
Maverick.
Can I vote for
Yeah.
for the person I want here next?
Sure, let's go.
I want it to be DJ Kuzi. That command is shy. He's shy. If he has cameras, but I think
Yeah.
this would be very great for him.
Yeah.
He's a person with whom I share a lot of insights, a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
He has an event that's called the Kuzim Experience. I think
Yeah.
that was the birth of all these DJ experiences that have been going around. He's a very laid-back gentleman, but very hardworking as well. I think he's the one who brought me onto Elevator Friday
Okay.
when I was working with Rugby Chill at Rugged Friday. It was quite hard for me because I was working exactly at Chisementi at Lapea, and I would have to go all the way.
The Shades Company.
I would have to go all the
Sad
way.
that they dropped you, man. Sad that they missed out on such a
Well,
almost,
that's life. You win some, you lose some.
yeah. Okay.
I think if I'd stayed there, I wouldn't have managed to balance with the whole hosting life.
I
But
get you.
I would have to leave Lapea in Kamocha and go all the way to Weyogere, where there is Kings Park Arena, to host. And it was, for some time there, I tried to multitask
Yeah.
between Canges and Rugged Friday. It just wasn't working. Then I would come from work quite tired. And after a month of hosting, I told myself, if you did this the right way, it could be better paying than your office job. Because, I come out once a week to, do this, the other, and you get paid quite some money. Not the most,
That's
but
true.
yeah, and that's how my hosting career started, thanks to DJ Kuzi.
All right.
That's where I met
Special
a
shout
lot
out to
of
DJ
people.
Kuzi.
That guy.
I'm definitely gonna host him. I
That
need to draw him
guy.
a strategy plan as well.
Please do.
Because if he doesn't have one, like if he doesn't have a way he's walking, then he's probably just walking in
He
darkness,
does,
but
he
yeah.
does, but I think he needs
Yeah.
your guidance.
No worries.
This is,
Definitely.
remember Powerpuff Girls? That guy, what is it called, Doctor Who? Okay, I don't know, but there was Chemical X. So he's the guy with
long
Chemical
time.
X. He's the guy with Chemical X. Yeah, so he's the guy with Chemical X, and he'll make things happen for all of you out there. And thank you for having me as your first guest, you guys. This is our first podcast with Maverick, and this is really raw. We don't even have any
I'm telling you, like,
structure
we just woke
whatsoever.
up
We
this
just woke up
morning.
here and like, okay,
I
let's
was like,
talk.
yo, man, let's just go, let's talk.
We're
Like,
actually
let's-
supposed to have this
let's do
podcast
it.
somewhere else. Midway, I'm like, wait, tell him you'll meet him here. And he kept telling me, but what's at Forest Mall? What's at Forest Mall? And this place is called Gems and... yeah, it's called Gems and something. And these are our sponsors, Oliwa.
Yeah.
And we're still in the pipeline of coming through with this place. And when it's ready, we shall definitely be opening the doors to you guys. But for now,
I think it's definitely a good potential space to host
Yeah,
Maverick
but for now,
podcasts.
these podcasts are going to, from now on, I
Yeah,
believe.
I
Yeah.
believe, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
from now on, I
You have
think
the gear,
most of
so-
the podcasts will be here. If unless we change, unless we decide to do it somewhere else. Even my own small talks will be going on here from time to time.
Looking forward to having Daniel here, man.
I
I
can't
feel like he's so loud. He just has a
trust
very
me. I think the
great
people we need to
persona.
have here, like, like
I need to have Daniel
Danny
here. He's
and
a great
Danny and Bruno.
Danny and Bruno. Bruno is very controversial.
You
He's
see,
a
we
man-
always speak
he's a
Bruno's
man
mind on things
I
like
know.
rugby
He's-
and
he's-
what. I would want to have him on just a banter podcast, and we see.
I feel like Bruno's industry is quite tough.
Yeah,
I really don't know how he
real
handles
estate,
because his industry is very volatile. Anything can happen. I don't know how he handles. I don't know how he juggles all those aspects of his life, but
But
definitely
I
want to
mean,
have Bruno here.
I would love to say birds of the same feather flock together. I mean, you're also a person who is in a very tough business, but you get time for things like this.
Oh man, the things I go through. That's
so
a story for another day,
Yeah,
man.
there's only one way to find out,
Yeah.
to go through it. And
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
again.
appreciate the time.
Shout
Thanks
out
for
to
Yeah,
Oliwa.
definitely. Shout out to Oliwa, man. Let's go check out the event this weekend. Maverick is coming out as well. We're coming out big. We're coming out strong. We're gonna be sharing all our packages that are coming into.
Or
the
if you saw
market.
me, post something with Ellie the consultant, this is Ellie the consultant.
Yeah, that's just me. I'm just gonna be coming out with the YouTube channel. I'm gonna come up with all the platforms. Maverick is gonna be big. Hopefully soon. I'm praying in 6 months we can start to hire people. Dependent
Definitely,
on the work that's
definitely.
coming
I
in.
think 6
Because
months
I can't do
is
everything alone,
actually
like-
far. 6 months is actually far. When
Yeah.
we have this place up and running, then we're going to need a lot of people joining us on the team
Definitely.
for one thing or the other.
Definitely.
I mean,
may
this is
need
what
to-
you were telling me
Exactly,
earlier, that I
yeah.
need to outsource a lot
Yeah.
of people to help me with a
Same
lot
thing.
of things.
I do need to outsource quite a bit.
Yeah, so we'll definitely be running this. Probably we'll keep changing a few faces here and
Yeah,
there,
definitely.
but we're here to stay. Don't be worried that
That's
we
what it
won't.
is. It's Maverick Podcast. This was my guest today, Mr. Barasha. Thank you for your time,
See you
brother.
at Bachiga Nation. See you at
Appreciate it.
Elevator Friday. See you at Rugby
Definitely.
Chill. See you at Source of the Nile. It's
Yeah.
going to be one hell of a weekend. I hope to see one of you in one or the other places. So,
It's been great,
Yeah.
man.
peace.
Peace out.
Thank you for having us.